Hi YouTube, it's Katie, and I'm about to cook, but I just wanted to make a quick video about before I had eczema, and I have successfully naturally cleared most of it up. There are a few little patches, and I wanted to share a little bit of what I did. So, the first huge thing that really helped me was giving up gluten containing products. And at first I thought just wheat products, but I was eating a lot of regular oatmeal every day. My skin wasn't doing anything. Well, standard oatmeal has gluten in it. It's processed with wheat and it contains gluten, and that can really mess you up, and it's more difficult to pin that down. But gluten, it tore me up. It may tear you up. Something else that was big deal: eggs, specifically egg whites, are there's some kind of enzyme or protein in them, and I don't know what it's called, but that'll really tear people up, and that's another big thing for me: gluten and eggs. Now, there are a few others. There's this one lady, and I forget her name right now, but I'll link her in the description. She has a channel, Eczema Healing, and she's very good. Michelle Mills, that's her name. I'll still link her, but Michelle Mills, and she has this eczema healing, and her first things are fried foods, refined sugar, and yes, I did buy some stuff from her, but this information in particular is already on YouTube from Michelle Mills, and so I'm sure I can go ahead and say that it's already out there amongst the public, so it should be fine. Fried food, refined sugar, eggs, gluten, and dairy. Those apparently are the absolute worst for most people. They have problems for people, so she recommends cutting those out first, and so would I. However, for me in particular, I haven't really noticed refined sugar being a problem. I mean, it's the tail end of winter here. Well, almost the tail end. We're on the downhill slope, but winter. And so I've been baking a lot with a lot of refined sugar. And it hasn't been a problem for me. It may be a problem for others. I don't know. So gluten and eggs for me were a big deal. I got much, much better after I cut those out. Another big thing I did in the beginning, it didn't have a ton, but I did notice it helped a little, was getting filters for my faucets and my shower. The shower is probably even more important than filtering the water you're drinking, because your skin is basically one huge mouth, and it will drink up whatever you put on it. So go ahead, look through beauty products and stuff. Anything you put on your skin, make sure you would also eat it, because basically your skin is a huge mouth on the outside of your body. Then other things, smaller things that I cut out later on, and they did actually seem to help, but I don't know if they would have helped a lot on their own. Things like peanut butter and chocolate. The peanut butter and the chocolate were both very difficult for me. I love peanut butter and I love chocolate. Separate together, it doesn't matter. I love them both so much. And peanut butter, for me, is much, much worse than chocolate. I'm able to eat a fair amount of chocolate, but I've noticed if I eat it, like, consistently, if I go on one of those weeks-long chocolate every single day binges, I have problems. And peanut butter is even worse. If I eat peanut butter, even a couple tablespoons in my oatmeal in the mornings, if I do that every day, after about 2-3 days, I notice that the skin on my hands gets kind of janky. So, peanut butter and chocolate. And something for me that may or may not be a problem for others was histamines. And there's a whole huge list, but basically histamines, and I fought against this for a long time because it seemed like a whole bunch of work, a lot of trouble and everything, but this was a big thing for me. I cleared up mostly, but then my right arm got impetigo. There was some all over my hand, there was some down here, a big patch, and it just stayed and stayed. And I ended up going to the emergency room twice, and it didn't help. I mean, it helped for a few days, then it stopped. And you see, now it's cleared up because I found out about histamines, and I'm very allergic to histamines. Well, I would say more extremely sensitive and not allergic per se. If I eat them, I won't die, but my skin will freak out. Histamines, and that's usually in any sort of fermented food. It's in a lot of processed foods. Okra is a big one that I didn't realize. Fermented foods, alcohols, soy sauce, basically all condiments, because the big thing in them is vinegar. And vinegar is a fermented food. So what you want to do is cut out anything but fresh food for a while. And then once you feel better, for me, if I was uncertain about anything, I'd eat it, and if I started sweating or feeling hot, I don't know why it was, but there's probably a scientific medical reason. But I would begin feeling hot, and that's very unusual. I'm very cold natured, but if I eat too much of a food, I would start sweating, and I didn't realize this was a problem. But I've since learned if you sweat while eating a food, that's like a form of mild anaphylactic shock. So, Katie, that wasn't smart. You should have stopped. But anyway, now I know, and I can share it with you. So, just fresh foods. But the biggest ones were gluten and eggs. If nothing else, try just cutting out gluten. First, see if it helps. Generally, your eczema will get worse before it gets better for reasons. But mostly, what you want to see is just a change. Any change. If you're having problems, for me at least, and I realize for y'all, eczema, it's probably, here's a patch, and you're just dealing with it for a long time. You're just dealing with stuff. You're basically treading water, keeping the plate spinning, put on more ointments and creams, get shots, different things. But mostly at first, if you're going to try this, you want to see a change. Some of y'all, if you have mild eczema, you might just begin improving. If you have bad eczema, like I did, it was very bad, and you're probably going to get worse before you get better. But change is good. Just see the change, and if it gets worse, just hold on for at least a month. Go 1 month doing whatever you're doing, and if you don't see improvement in a month, when the month goes by day 32 or something, because some months are 31 days. The next day, day 32, after your month, if you don't see improvement, go ahead and change. But I'm telling you, unless you change many things at once and you're not sure what it was, cutting out gluten won't hurt you. Like, there's no way. There's studies. Now, if you're still eating something else that's hurting you, if you cut out gluten, you may be eating more that might be hurting you. But the actual act of cutting out the gluten will not harm you. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.